Hey, Wellness Crew. I am super excited to talk to you today about vision boards, and this is why. Literally, as soon as I made my vision board, within an hour, my life changed. I have been meaning to do a vision board for a long time, and if you don't know what one is, let me show you an example. I'll show you mine real quick. I took it very literally and got a poster board. And what I did is I put a whole bunch of present tense and future tense sentences, intentions, goals, all these things that I want to manifest in my life. And I was very specific. I I wrote down everything, things as far as relationships, as far as career goals, as far as trajectory. And the reason that I made this, and I've been intending to, is because I know the power of vision boards. Now, there's other ways to make them. You can make binders and you can cut out pictures from magazines. You can make it a visual thing. But for me, words resound so much more. That's just how my brain works. So the reason that I did mine this way was because also by using Post-it notes on my vision board, I can go in and change it whenever I feel like I need to. Now, specifically when it came to my goals regarding money, I have two Post-it notes. On top, it just kind of has a very general statement. I make a lot of money doing what I love. Underneath there, though, is the actual figure of what I want to make per month. So I love the idea of using Post-its on an actual poster board, taking it so literally of a vision board, like taking it to the max. Because what that does is now I have like that as my, okay, underneath, I know that that's my goal. But to put the intention out there into the universe. So this is what happened. An hour after I made my vision board, I got a text from my partner about a major life change that will be happening in the near future. And I was in complete shock. I couldn't believe it. I was like, I manifested this just by doing this activity, by sending these signals to my brain, by saying and putting on, and I sometimes I kind of talk while I write. So, and that helps, it helps you not only manifest these things, but it also helps you start to create the habits that you need to create in order to meet these goals. And I'll share with you a few of them. So one of them is I read 3 to 4 books a month. And right now I'm literally simultaneously reading 4 books. Now, am I going to say that that's the best way for someone to learn? No, this is all just in relation to how I learn and how I'm able to pick up information. As a wellness coach, what I do is I help my clients get well in all areas of their life, the ones that they want to focus on. It is very much driven by them, by their desires, by their, wants, by their needs. So what I do with that is I share with them the things that I have done and all of the knowledge that I have had as a coach in various arenas, as a health coach, as a fitness trainer, as a CrossFit coach even, as a yoga instructor. Being a wellness coach means helping people be well in all areas of their life. But working on the areas first that are most pertinent to them, to then showing them how it all ties in together, why everything works and it all syncs up, and it is important to try to aim for wellness in each and every individual area of your life. I need my caffeine. Okay, so that's one of them. YouTube is a generous revenue stream. That's another one. So I know that in order to do that, I have to be able to take constructive criticism. I have to be able to take feedback. But I have boundaries that I have set by doing inner work, the inner work that I show my clients how to do. And so if there's disrespect, if there's, any type of comments that are of a sexual nature or like that, I shut those down, I delete them, I dislike them, because that's not what I'm here for. What I'm here to do is help. I'm volunteering my time in order to help others because I feel like that's what my higher power, who is God, intended for me to do. That doesn't mean that I am a perfect person, but it does mean that I feel as though I need to be a model of practicing what I preach. So it just kept on nagging on me. This divine whisper just kept nagging at me, make your vision board, make your vision board. So I volunteer 2 days a week. And at the place I volunteer, we were eliminating our books area. And we were making it, like all the books that we had, like all of our inventory, we were making it free to the public. So that way we can make room for new books. This is after we had put them on sale. And then I found this book. It's called Holy Moments. I haven't read it, but it says it's a handbook for the rest of your life. But I freaked out, totally freaked out, because of how much it matches my vision board. And I was like, see, this is God talking. This is manifestation happening. This is what happens when you put things on paper. You can obviously make, boards on Pinterest. You can type up your goals. You can do all of that. But the connection of writing to your brain, it just sets those intentions and sets all of these things that you're wanting in your life. It makes them come to fruition. It helps, because then it helps you start to take the actions that you need to take in order to make these things happen. All right, let's see what else I have on my vision board. Okay. I'm constantly in a creative flow. This is something that is so important to me, especially with my yoga videos and my meditation videos. I go into all of these things sometimes, most of the time, in a just creative process. I don't do a lot of planning. Why? Because I've had the experience of being a yoga instructor. When it comes to meditation, I've been meditating since I was 19 years old, off and on. I'm 35 now. So that's however many years that is. I could do the math, but I'm like, it's okay. People can figure it out. What I'm saying is, all of the things that I show are things that I have already been doing, are things that I have been instructing. Same thing with being a yoga instructor. I started at 19. I would always incorporate yoga into my workouts, into mobility, into all of those things. When I was doing CrossFit, this is back in 2015. So that's, 9 years? So there's a lot of experience that I have, especially in working with clients. But in order to best serve my clients, I have to, as I said before, practice what I preach. And I needed to share this with my wellness crew today because I talked about it on my podcast. And I wanted, my listeners to know, hey, this is a quick fire way to start getting results. What do I do? Since the vision board is completed for the most part, although I do have a second smaller board that I'm going to add to as well as an addition to this, what I do is I look at my vision board. It's right by my bed. typically. And I read each Post-it and I set that intention. I read each Post-it and I visualize that all of these things have already occurred. So I'm going to get a little materialistic and I'm going to share half of one of my Post-its. I own a Jeep Gladiator. Now, why, like, Jenna, come on, that's kind of materialistic. Well, why wouldn't I just state what I want and state the things that I feel like I need? I have children. I'm going to be moving at some point. So I need something that's like a truck. And that I just feel like I've been led to it. Now, I know that there's a specific term for when you want something or you're thinking about something, then you start to see it everywhere. Well, I think that's more of manifesting. So where I live, there was like one Jeep Gladiator in the community. All of a sudden, there's been now like 6. And I'm like, yep, that's the vehicle for me for now. And it's not anything big. It's like, I don't care about having, a big name brand vehicle. I want a car that makes me feel safe because I'm in my feminine energy. So I want something that is masculine, that is secure. And because I have my 2 boys, I want them to also be safe and secure, to have enough leg room and all of that. So I put it on my board. What happens? I keep on seeing the Jeep Gladiator everywhere, like everywhere. So other people are buying them. Why not me? It's just a matter of being in the right place at the right time, letting yourself lose and give up control to your higher power. Your higher power can simply be the universe. It doesn't have to be God if you are not religious. My interpretation of God is not about a religion or a set thing. My interpretation of God is God made the universe, so I'm going to go to the source. And that's the source for me. The source for you can be anything. I have heard that in meetings like for AA and things like that, that for some people, they'll say, your higher power can be a doorknob for all we care, So someone had told me that, and I was like, that's interesting, It's just the idea of giving up control, of understanding that we can create and manifest the things that we want. But as far as specifics on timing and when these things occur, give up control. It's going to happen when it's going to happen. Release all of that so you can release the stress, so you can release and not have all this built up cortisol in your body that's going to create disease and create all like this like havoc on your body. All that came from a Jeep Gladiator. Okay. Another one is I always make self-care a priority. So for me, self-care even includes just getting ready and showing up the way that I want to show up every single day. When I'm doing my yoga videos, my outfits and stuff just reflect how I'm feeling, reflect the energy that I want to give off, reflect the topic of the meditation, reflect whatever it may be. What I'm wearing now reflects how I'm feeling. I'm feeling good, I love neutral colors. I love mirrors and, things that have, light, because I want to have waves of frequency, right? And I want to generate waves of frequency of energy that are positive, that are helpful, and that are full of love that other people can feel. That's my intention. That's my goal with the majority of my videos. Also, when it comes to self-care, so that's doing things like taking vitamins, eating cleanish. I don't even have the perfect diet, but I eat according to what my body needs for the day, and I do make sure that I get all of the nutrients that I need. I need to work on drinking water. More water, I should say. I do drink water, obviously, but drinking more water. So that's what I do, and I know the things that I need to work on. Self-care includes the devices that I use, which are really cool. So EMS devices, those are for your muscles. I use them on my abs. I had one for it's called a hip trainer, but really it's to grow your butt. But that one, for some reason, it stopped working, and I was like, oh, come on, Amazon. But it's okay. So there's that. There's using the, I think it's like micro frequency or something like that technology. So what it is it's a device that will tighten skin, that will help with stretch marks and things like that. Especially if you're someone that has, had children, or man or woman, if you have gone through weight loss and stuff. So I've seen a reduction in my stretch marks and things like that. And it does take time, right? So it's about 15 minutes of time per body area. Oh, and there's also one to reduce body fat. There's a setting on there. So there's that. Then there's one that I use on my face. And I just use it because I get self-conscious about crow's feet and things like that. Which always makes, when I say crow, it always makes me think of two things. The Crow, the movie with Brandon Lee, R.I.P., and the crow position in yoga. So I'm always thinking okay, if I want to participate in things like this, knowing that I'm worth investing the time. It's not so much about what specifically I'm doing. It's more about the fact that the time is being invested into myself, because I want to be able to be rejuvenated and invest that time into my clients and invest that time into the things that I create and that I'm working on. It's so important to me. So I definitely, say self-care is so important. Whatever that looks like for you, because it can look like a lot of things. I even think that taking the time to read books and gain self-knowledge, that's a part of self-care. Doing your hair, doing your makeup, a part of self-care. How you show up. If you start showing up already as the person that you're going to be, it's going to make time move faster towards you. And if you want more information on this, you need to read Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself by Dr. Joe Dispenza. It is life-changing. It is incredible. I am not even finished with it yet, but I have implemented all of the things that he has suggested. I have intook all of the things that he has said, and my life has changed tremendously. All right, what else do I want to share? I have a strong relationship with God. So why this is important to me is because having that connection to my higher power, my relationship is going to be personal, and it's going to look the way that I want it to look. And I'm going to be in a position of receiving, just like I talk about in my meditation videos. Being in a position of receiving, what does that also mean? Being in a position of listening. Taking the time to listen. listening to my body, listening to the divine whispers, listening to like, oh, if I suddenly get this rush of maybe you should do this. Usually there's not a maybe. Usually it's just do this, and it's like, okay, let me go along with it. Because as I said before, I don't see myself as in control of that aspect of timing. I only see myself in control of the aspect of what I create, of what I do, of the actions I take, the thoughts that I think, all of those things. Taking full responsibility happily, because then I know, okay, that puts me in a position of control, but I'm still giving up my control to God. And that's something personal to me and something that's important to me. These are just things on my vision board. Your vision board or binder or your board on Pinterest, or it can look so different, and that's fine. But if you're going to use Pinterest, I highly suggest labeling each and every pin, so that way at least you have a set intention, or you have a set something, why this is important to you. Or if it's a yoga pose that you want to do, I already did my handstand, or I already did my headstand, or I already completed bicycle, whatever. Writing those words, typing those words in that way is so helpful. And again, it starts to change the thoughts in your brain. And let's see, the last one I'm going to share is I don't question my choices. Now, I don't question my choices. What does that mean? That means that when I make a decision, I make a decision. I don't question myself. I don't have doubt. I don't have concern that the choice that I made was incorrect or wrong. Because eventually, even if a choice that I make has a consequence that turns out to be different than what I intended, it's a learning opportunity. Next. No guilt, no shame. There are no reasons for us to live in those low vibrational states. When we live in a high vibrational state, you can see it. You can feel it on the person. And it is so exciting to watch when I get to see this shift in my clients, this shift in their thoughts, this shift in just their entire demeanor. And it's what I love. And that's why with videos like this, it's just like a little snippet of what I do as a wellness coach. So that is vision boarding. And like I said, it can be in a whole bunch of different kinds of ways, a whole bunch of different. But this was just the way that spoke most to me. This was the way that I felt led to do it. I'm going to do the next, like the additional vision board, since there's some stuff that has been left off that I thought about afterwards. I'm going to do that vision board the exact same way, have them together by my bed, so that way I'm setting myself up to have no excuses to not read it at least once every single day. And again, it's going to help you start to change. You're going to then start thinking about, oh, how am I showing up? Not only physically, but emotionally and spiritually. It's so important. And because of the fact that all these things started happening as soon as I made mine, I was like, I have to share it because I want other people to have the same exact feeling, the same exact experience of creating their vision board, and then within the hour having one of the things that's on my vision board occur like that. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all of my new subscribers and all of the likes and the comments and the engagement. I love engaging with you guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and or follow. And please watch my videos to their full duration. It would mean the world to me. And if you're watching this at this point, then you have, and you are awesome. Comment that you did if you did, so that way I know who you are and I know who to give my time to, especially because it means the world to me. Be well, stay wild.